Most people see this. What they don't see is driving 4 hours for a 5-minute pitch, rewriting your talk 17 times, and nearly convincing yourself that you're just not good enough. If you're thinking about applying for a TEDx, don't. Not until you understand what it actually takes. Hi, I'm Ricky Locke. I'm a TEDx speaker, confidence coach, and magician. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the lessons that you need to know before applying for a TEDx. What actually got me there, what nearly stopped me, and the mindset shift that's more important than the idea. And if you stay to the end, I'll share with you the one principle that helps you build the confidence that you need, not just for TEDx, but for anything that you're going after. So the first lesson I want to share with you is all about vision. Now, I'm a massive fan of visualization, and I was writing affirmations before anybody said yes. I was visualized walking on stage before I even had a slot, seeing the red dot, hearing the audience, and I was in my kitchen affirming my future self like some slightly unhinged motivational wizard. But identity comes before invitation. And it's about getting clear on what it is that you really want. Inspired by my mentor, Jack Canfield, who shared with us a great teaching from his mentor, W. Clement Stone, who said that if you tell enough people about what it is that you want, then more people will help you achieve what it is that you want. I was that guy years ago who put a video out on YouTube to say, I want to be a TEDx speaker. And whilst it's slightly embarrassing watching it, there's a point to this madness. As soon as I started to communicate to the world what it is that I want, more people came out from the woodwork to say, I think I can help you with that, Ricky. I had friends that said, there's a local TEDx event, Ricky, have you heard about it? Someone got in touch to say, I think I can help you with this. And the real magic came when I sat in LA with my good friend Nikki Kinsella. I'd never met her before. We're both sitting at a table doing a vision board party, and we started chatting to each other saying about what it is that we want for the next year. And I said to her, I want to be a TEDx speaker. And she turns to me and says, Ricky, I want to be a TEDx speaker too. I'm like, no way, amazing. And what formed into a beautiful relationship because we shared that vision, she said to me, Ricky, do you know that TEDx Northwich are looking for speakers for their TEDx event? Oh, wow, no way. And the most magical thing from that was that 18 months later, had I known at that very moment, I would be standing on stage with that very Nikki Kinsella delivering our TEDx together. So what I'm trying to say from this is that when you make it really clear about what it is that you want and you tell more people about what it is you want, more people will help you achieve it. If I hadn't had that conversation with Nikki, I wouldn't have even known about TEDx Northwich. I live in Lincolnshire, which is about a 4-hour drive. But because we had that conversation, it opened up doors for me to go, now I can start looking. So have a vision. If you want to do a TEDx speaker, then tell people, create the identity, because then the invitation comes after creating the identity. Lesson number 2 is all about taking action before you're ready. So let's just recap. We have a vision. We want to be a TEDx speaker. We start telling the world, and then the world starts to help us do it. Then we've got to apply for it. So one of the best ways to apply for a TEDx is to head over to TED.com website, and you can search for events that are being held all over the world. And on most of the websites, they tell you how you can apply. Now, I found out because of my conversation from Nikki that TEDx Northwich were hosting their TEDx event in 2025. So I went over to the website and I found that there was an application. Now, at this point, I'm not really great with words, but I realized I had a really great, powerful idea. There was something that I really wanted to make it work. So I had to take action. And part of this process was that we had to fill out an application and also record a little 5-minute version of our talk. Now, I went a little bit to the extreme because if you watch this channel, you'll know I put a lot of effort into my videos. I make good lighting, I make good sound, good audio, and I make it a good production. And I remember being so proud of this video. And when I put the video out, I shared it to a couple of my friends, Jake Richings, who was a TEDx speaker previously in 2024. And he said to me, you know what, Ricky, it's a great video, but I think it's like too good. They're not looking for that. And what he did for me, whilst I was really annoyed at that time, thinking, Jesus Christ, I just spent hours making this video together. What I realized was that they're looking just for the idea. They're not looking for the polished article yet. Because what happens in TEDx is that most TEDx curators will help you evolve that message through coaching or even helping you with performance and delivery. So I re-recorded the video, I filled out the application, I asked my friend Glenn McCoy, who is a screenwriter for Emma Dow and Doctor Who, and I said, Glenn, you're pretty good with words. I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind helping me beef up this application a little bit and make it sound a little bit more better than my words, because my words just aren't that great. And this is one of the principles that I want to share with you. You can't climb Everest by yourself. This was a principle that was taught to me by my mentor, Jack Canfield. And all of my journey, as you started to see, the Nikki Kinsellas, the Steve McDermotts, the Glenn McCoys, I would not have delivered my TEDx event without the help of all of these amazing people. So the question to think about is this: what is your Everest? If your Everest is a TEDx, who is in your team that can help you get to where you want to get to? So Glenn helped me out with the application and made my words sound a little bit more convincing than what I'd originally planned. We send the application off, we get the email, and we're informed we have to drive the next week to TEDx Northwich to deliver this pitch in about a 2-minute format in front of 5 TEDx curators. So if you ever imagine Dragon's Den or Shark Tank for the American viewers, that's a pretty daunting experience, let me tell you. But I drove the 4 hours. And at this point, you have to ask yourself this question: are you interested or are you committed? If you're interested, you'll just do what's necessary to get through. But if you're committed, you'll do whatever it takes to achieve what it is you want to do. I'm a young father with a young little one who at the time was about 3 years old. So I had to leave my wife and my daughter, travel 4 hours to Northwich, hoping that this pitch, my idea, could actually be the seed to actually delivering this in real life. Now, thankfully, they accepted the idea and we was put onto the program. Woohoo! Now, just as a caveat to this story right now, I don't even know if this idea was going to be convincing enough really to deliver this on a TEDx stage. I'd borrowed the belief from my peers, from Steve and from Glenn, but at this point, I had to take the action. And the principle here that I want you all to remember is something called ready, fire, aim. Most people wait until it's perfect before taking the action. They go ready, aim, fire. But instead, the key to this success is that you have to take action before you are ready. I didn't know if the idea was going to work, but thankfully they took the idea. And let's be honest right now, at that point, I did not have an 18-minute talk. I had a 5-minute talk that could be condensed into about a 2-minute pitch. But that's why we do it. We have to take the action for then all of the work to unfold after. So lesson number 3 is all about ask, ask, ask. I messaged speakers that had already done a TEDx and said, what would it cost to spend some time with you to learn about your experience? There are people out in this world that have already done what it is that you've done. Maybe you watch this video because you want to be a TEDx speaker, or maybe there's something else that you want to do, but someone in this world has already done what it is that you have done. And if you could ask them by tapping into them, by saying, what would it cost to spend the day, or even what would it take to spend some time with you to hear about your journey, you'll be surprised. There's 8 billion people in this world. Someone out in this world has already done what it is that you've tried to do. And if you was to have the courage and bravery to ask them, you might just find that they will help you out. And I was thankful for the Jake Richings of this world, the Dr. Robert Kellys, for sharing their wealth and their knowledge with me to then allow me to get to my dream of being a TEDx speaker. So using the power of the ask, I studied great speakers. I studied great talks. I asked mentors. I got really, really comfortable with being uncomfortable. The likes of sharing my script and my talks with the Glens, the Steves of this world, and even asking my great friend Chris Wilder, who's a magician, to help make the box that I used on the stage. If you'd like to see the video of when I received this box, you can watch the video just here. It was an incredible moment for us to build this. And the box that you see on the TEDx, if you watch it, that was like the 3rd edition of that one. The first 2 had like this big brown box with big holes in it. We're not going to talk into it. But the point was, I thought, I'm not going to do this by myself. I'm going to ask an expert. Chris Wilder, he knows how to make boxes. Plug, by the way, for him at the Curious Cabaret. He runs an amazing cabaret. And if you're in the Nottingham area, then go check it out. But the reason I tell you this is because you do not lone wolf yourself to a global stage. You cannot climb Everest by yourself. So if you are interested in being a TEDx speaker, perhaps maybe you might have the vision, you might want to share that vision out to the world to get more people to help you. You might even want to start taking action before you're even ready. Start the idea now. Do a little mini snippet of the video, a 5-minute version of it. Create your script, whatever it might be. And then start asking the people who've already done it, what do they think of the idea? Would they help you out in your journey to become a TEDx speaker? Those are the principles that I used in my own TEDx journey, and it allowed me to achieve my dream of being a TEDx speaker. Now, I will say this, doing a TEDx talk is the greatest moment of my life, and I would even say that it is up there with the birth of my child and getting married too. I'm not going to tell you what particular order it fits in, but it was one of the greatest moments because not really about what the TEDx is, but it's what the TEDx made of me and what I learned about myself from this experience. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. But the people, the connections, the experience, and now what I call the TEDx Northwich family, I will never ever forget the experience that I had because I had this bold, ambitious idea that I wanted to share to the world, and I decided to take action. So, if you want to be a TEDx speaker, share your vision, tell people about it, take action, and ask. There are people out there who've already done what it is you're trying to achieve. You might just find if you talk to them, they will help you achieve your TEDx dream. So here's my final thought. Here's what no one tells you about TEDx. The identity shift is permanent. Don't apply hoping the stage will make you confident. Build the confidence now and apply. The stage doesn't make you powerful. You bring the power to the stage. Now, if you want to build the kind of confidence that I use in my own journey, then watch this next. Until next time, stay curious.